Ibo kwenu, yeah, kwenu, yeah, kwezwanu, yeah. Oh. Good morning, dear viewers, citizens of the internet, my lovely viewers. How are you all doing? You're welcome to another exciting edition of your daily dose of knowledge with me, your host, Santa Claus. How has been your night? Hope you slept well. We're good here, and we thank God for that. I dedicate this special edition to my Igbo brothers and sisters out there because we're talking about Biafra, the sovereign state of Biafra. This was a state that existed between 1967 to 1970, nearly 2.5 years old country. It was the cause of the Civil War. It is a part of the Nigerian history that people want to forget. But we also forget that the greatest lesson of history is history repeats itself because man refuses to learn from history. If we don't know where we are coming from, we certainly do not know where we're going. What is the background behind this whole thing? It all started when Nigeria was agitating for independence. In 1953, the British government felt it wise to grant Nigeria independence. The northern part of Nigeria refused that they are not ready. Reasons being the north and south dichotomy. It is predominantly known that the northern part of Nigeria they are Muslims, the southern part of Nigeria they are Christians. So Muslim Christian, that religious friction already was there. And then the inequalities in educational level. The northerners were not well educated, whereas the southerners were well versed and well read and were better equipped to rule a nation. So what did they not do? They now had to open more universities, more institutions of learning, so they can educate their own people also to meet up with the South, so they can always remain in power. The major thing they were using was population. When it comes to politics, the northern part of Nigeria include the middle belt. When it's not election time again, they forget about us. Now, it was the same then. The Sokoto Caliphate was the predominant existing structure, and coupled with the fact that indirect rule was a total success in the north and total failure in the east, it made the British government favor the Hausas more because these people they're giving them headache because they knew their rights and other stuffs like that. In the eastern region, in the southwest, it wasn't so successful, the indirect rule. Now, they divided Nigeria into ethnic patterns. The north was for the Hausa Fulanis, the southeast was for the Igbos, whereas the southwest was for the Yorubas. They even forgot about the issue of the minorities. It wasn't their business and they don't bloody care. Now, having said all this, Nigeria was finally granted independence October 1st, 1960, with Sir Amadu Tafawa Balewa as the first prime minister. Then we now had a president also, where the first president was Nnamdi Azikiwe, who was an Igbo man. And the Igbos were very fervent in the struggle for independence. So it is only natural that they have a fair share in the spoils also. Well, all was going well, but there also were problems. In 1957, at Olubiri, oil was discovered. That was in Port Harcourt. So all of a sudden, crude oil was a very essential commodity to the Nigerian economy. Okay, after the messing up of the First Republic politicians, the election crisis and co, there was total breakdown of law and order in the southwestern region because Sir S.L. Akintola, Samuel Akintola, was a problem to the Northern People's Congress, the Action Group, and the Northern People's Congress, whereas the southeast was the NCNC, National Congress of Nigeria and Cameroon. Okay, my people go say no contribution, no chop. Okay, now after the palaver and problems all in all, a gallant Nigerian soldier, very gallant indeed, by the name of Major General Chukwuma Kaduna Nzogu. He felt disgusted with what was happening, how the election crisis was causing chaos, how the whole system was breaking down, martial law. It was crazy. So he felt the military had to do something. And what did the military do? He and his colleagues, who were predominantly Igbos, decided to stage a coup to overthrow the civilian government. The coup was executed. It wasn't a total success. Now, the most people that were killed were those from the north. Sir Ahmadu Bello was killed. Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa was killed. Prominent northern politicians were killed. The premier of the east, as at then, Nnamdi Azikiwe, he was left. He wasn't killed. Samuel Elijah Akintola was left. He wasn't killed. So, coupled with the fact that there were mainly Igbo people who conducted this coup, the Hausas felt, oh, these Igbo people, they have dealt with us, so they have done something to us, and it was not a good response. The coup, and coupled with what made the whole situation worse, was that the person who now became the head of government was an Igbo man. So Igbo people organized their Igbo people to carry out a coup. They killed our politicians and then now installed their own person in power. So these people want to come and ride us. That was the mentality of the Hausa man, coupled with previous existing ethnic crisis and killings in Jos and other isolated events in the country as at then. It was not a good thing. The Hausas, the Northerners, they were not happy. This coup was staged on January 1966, and in July of that same year, there was a counter coup. Watch out for the part 2. I'll be with you. Thank you for listening.